Hello, everyone. It's a real pleasure to be joining you at WTTC's 2021 Global Summit, even if it is only virtual. It's been one hell of a year, with hotels and borders closed, airplanes grounded, and of course, cruise ships docked around the world. Travel and tourism was clearly one of the sectors most impacted by COVID-19. I've been asked to make some comments about how it's affected the Royal Caribbean Group and what lessons we've learned during this awful time. I would point out three particular things that stood out to me. Number one was the importance of our people. Number two, the importance of setting priorities. And number three, the importance of agility. Let me take each of these in order. First is people. At the Royal Caribbean Group, it has always been the people who have made us successful. Always. The men and the women who work so hard to organize and deliver amazing vacations to our guests. They've been our mainstay during the good times, but they've also been key to our success as we navigate this crisis. They protected the health and the safety of our guests and their fellow employees. They helped figure out how to maintain the liquidity and arrange the financing. And they have helped prepare us for coming back into service. Everybody has suffered during this pandemic, but working for a cruise line has to be one of the most demanding jobs, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate all of their support. One of the key learnings in this regard has been the importance of communication with all the members of our team. More than psychological counseling, more than emergency financial aid, we have found that open and honest communication has been a key ingredient of our success in this area. Now, the second thing I would mention is the importance of establishing clear and unambiguous priorities. That allows everyone to focus on the same goals, and it speeds up our ability to achieve those goals. We've gone through three phases, three sets of priorities during this pandemic. At the beginning, the priority was liquidity, just making sure that we had enough cash to pay our bills, even if the pandemic lasted a long time. That was our initial focus, and it helped us during all the uncertainties. At the same time, we had to deal with the human side of the crisis, getting our guests and our crew home safely, sometimes to home countries that refused to accept even their own citizens. In all, we repatriated about 70,000 people, despite a labyrinth of conflicting rules and requirements. After we got through that initial liquidity hurdle, our priorities shifted to operating during the pandemic in a responsible way and preparing ourselves for the return to service at the end. We took steps to enhance our public health standards and to ensure that our travel partners, public health officials, and others all knew about the strong steps we were taking. Even if we weren't sailing, we needed to protect our brand reputation for when we returned. For example, we formed a healthy sail panel in cooperation with Norwegian Cruises, comprised of the world's leading experts. That healthy sail panel not only helped us adopt very effective protocols, but also gave the public and health authorities confidence about the future. And now, our priority has shifted to the final act, the healthy return to service in a healthy and prudent manner. We already have 4 ships operating in Asia and in Europe, and will shortly be expanding that to 15 of our 60-ship fleet. We're also preparing for a broader startup of the rest of the fleet, which we hope to begin in July. Our objective is to reduce the likelihood of a person on board becoming sick from this virus to lower than the risk of infection in the surrounding community. Now, during each of these 3 phases of priorities, our people understood those priorities so that everyone was working to a common goal. Having such clear priorities and order made decision-making easier for everyone and more consistent. I can't emphasize enough how important that's been to our recovery. The last of these learnings during this pandemic is the importance of agility. That's not inconsistent with the idea of priorities. It means that within those priorities, you have to be agile. Working from home during a pandemic is no fun, and it's always been hard to deal with change. But today, the cacophony of new and often contradictory information has been a real challenge. In this ever-changing environment, I am proud of the many heroes who emerged within our company as everybody moved way outside of their job descriptions and their comfort zones. Everybody wanted to pitch in. People who had never done government relations work had suddenly found themselves talking to cabinet officers in multiple countries around the world about how to repatriate their citizens. Employees who had been working to open exciting new destinations suddenly found themselves instead turning off the lights in ones that had been operating. Against the background of those learnings, we see one shining truth. The world needs travel and tourism. Travel and tourism can unite the world as we recover from COVID and move forward towards a bright and exciting future. People are frustrated at being stuck at home, and they long to soar. It is said that one often doesn't realize how important something is until it's taken away. I think that adage applies here. This pandemic has not only taught us a lot of new medical terms, but I think it has made people realize how important travel and tourism is to the physical, financial, and mental health of people around the world. As we emerge from the truly horrific events of the past year, people, companies, industries, and communities are understandably eager to put all of those experiences behind us and move on. Trust me, I feel the same way. I don't want to sound repetitive and to continue to say how much this pandemic has hurt the entire world, but we've all felt the impact of this terrible virus. It pains me to think of our crew who so eagerly want to return to work, the destinations and the suppliers who rely on our industry to feed their families, and of course, all of you who've been so innovative and patient during the past 13 months. We've made it this far together, and I know we will eventually be back and better than ever. I can't wait to see you all soon on board one of our ships, very soon, so get ready. Thank you all very much.